Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another The Officer Tatum show. Hey, I got a special announcement that I want to make for you guys. If you're looking for Tatum merch, this is our end of the year sale, and we're only going to do it till January the 1st, and that is 47% off of your order. Just put in NYE47 and get 47% off anything you buy on The Officer Tatum store. We got a bunch of new stuff that we just threw up there. End of the day sale. It will end at the end of the year, so take advantage of it now. I want to talk about the H-1B visa. On the internet yesterday, I saw that people were turning against Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy over their support of the H-1B visa. Now, just like any other patriotic American, I know you don't have time to look up what specifically is involved with the H-1B visa, so that's why I did the research for you. Many people have commentary about it. Many people have theories about it. But there's a lot of people that have no idea what the H-1B visa is all about. My initial thoughts of the H-1B visa, or at least my initial thoughts for this live stream, is that I'm in favor of it for the most part, but I do think that there's protections that need to be put in place to prioritize Americans' interests. But I do not think that the H-1B visa is a bad thing. When you hear me read the criteria that's involved in H-1B visa, you will see why it makes sense. And anybody who's a business owner that owns a company, that runs a company, especially if you run a company that's nationwide, you will understand how important H-1B visas are. And if you're honest, you will understand that this country was built on H-1B visa type people. Where would we be without the brilliant mind of Elon Musk? That guy was an H-1B visa type guy. Where would we be without Vivek Ramaswamy, that's a part of the Doge? Well, I think his family came to this country as immigrants. So there is some nuance to it. Do I think that we should prioritize American interests? 100%. But do we need to coddle to everything that Americans want to do, even when they're lazy? No. If you don't want to get up and work, you don't want to get up and compete, you're going to get replaced. I'll tell you, let me give you a quick example, then I'm going to run down what the H-1B visa is all about. But you get a person and you say, look, the budget in my company is that I could pay you $16.50 an hour. An American person in some cases say, well, I want $19 an hour. And you say, look, I can work you to 19, but you got to start at 16 because I got to make sure that you're paying out. We got profit margins that we have to reach. Can you do it for 17? No, I'm only doing it for 19. The person that's an H-1B visa person is living in Pakistan and saying, I'll risk my life to get over there to work, to do that job for whatever you request, because I know that it's better than where I'm at. And if I work hard enough, I'll move up in the company. Sometimes we have those scenarios, and that's why some Americans are afraid in part. That's not all, not you. I'm saying some. Let's talk about the H-1B visa real quick. I'm going to read this off because I had to look it up myself because I didn't know all the details and nuances of it. So when you look at it, it says the visa is a non-immigrant visa of the United States of America that allows employees to temporarily hire foreign workers in specialized occupations. I want you to hone in on that. Specialized occupations. These jobs typically require a bachelor's degree or higher in a specific field of expertise, such as technology, engineering, medicine, business, or law. So if you thought that this was just some sweeping lottery or they just picking random people to work any job, that's not the case. It has to be a specialized field. Now it says employer sponsored. I've had an opportunity to sponsor people and I said no because my company isn't big enough and I think there's plenty of Americans that can do the job here and I don't have to outsource. However, I'm telling you now, culture of Americans sometimes can be an embarrassment. I've had people be lazy. I've had people I've had to fire because they're stealing. I've had a bunch of ungrateful people that have worked for me. Not a bunch, but I've had people that have been ungrateful that worked for me. And so you, as a business owner, you can see why you say Americans sometimes, or people sometimes think you owe them something. You go out and get somebody that's hungry, they're going to get the job done. Anyway, the employee is a U.S. Employer must sponsor a foreign worker by filing the H-1B petition. And as you all know, everybody doesn't get in. There's a crazy lottery, which I don't really know the nuances of how that works. but there's a lottery. Not everybody gets the opportunity. It says there's an annual cap of H-1B visas issued, 65,000 visas for workers with bachelor's degrees. In addition, 20,000 visas are for workers with master's degrees or higher. So these are highly specific, educated people that have an opportunity to come and work in America in a temporary setting. And why do you say temporary setting, Brandon? The duration of an H-1B visa person typically is granted a 3-year duration initially. They can get an extension to do 6 years, and then some of them are strategic enough. If they apply for a green card and get green card status, they can stay obviously a lot longer. Here's a part that people may be concerned about when it comes to the H-1B visa is that spouse and children can get a pass to be eligible to come over here and work as well. So sometimes they'll come over here and work, and they can also get their family members to come over here and work with an H-4 visa. Now, I don't know how frequent that happens, but it's possible. And I can see how Americans could be a little skeptical of that. My language is, my tongue is dragging today. The people who use H-1B visas are people who are in specific fields pertaining to industries like technology, healthcare, finances, education. So that's pretty much a synopsis. There's a little bit more to this, but there's no reason for me to read it all the way out. Now, I printed out some pros and cons as it relates to H-1B visas. Okay, so when you look at some of the pros, let me go with the cons first, and then I'll go with the pros. So cons are, and this is what people believe could be happening, is that job displacement and wage suppression. Critics argue that programs enable companies to replace U.S. workers with low-paid foreign labor, creating job insecurity. Is that true? Yes, it could be very well true. Abuse of outsourcing firms. Now, on the articulated notes that I have, it says that some of these firms are accused of underpaying workers and displacing U.S. employees. Now, I'll give you an example. I work with a hiring agency, and that hiring agency looks for talent for me. Now, because they look for talent for me, I got to pay them every time they find somebody for me. And I can't tell you the specific numbers because we're under contract, but I'm going to give you a hypothetical scenario. Just say that I have a person, and all of my people that work for me that are full-time employees, just say they make $15 an hour, which is not how much they make, but just hypothetically speaking, they make $15 an hour. I only have a budget to pay them $15 an hour. Now, the agency have to make their money. So if I only have a budget to pay $15 an hour, I have to pay the agency $15 an hour. The agency would then turn around and pay the worker $12 an hour. And that could be a problem. Now, sometimes the agency will say, if it's a $15 an hour job, you have to pay the person $15 an hour, which you didn't have to pay the agency $18 an hour, if that makes sense. So then it can become a problem. So when Americans are thinking about these companies that are just bringing in these H-1B visa people, depending on how the company function, it may not be that beneficial to the American companies to bring them in. Because if the agency finds the person for you, they may charge you a premium. And if the person has a bachelor's degree, there's a going rate for that particular position. And you can't just skimp a person out of a position and pay them $20 an hour when they're worth $40 an hour. It's not going to work that way. And so sometimes it's better to just hire an American instead of hiring from an agency where you're going to have to pay 30%, 40% more for that employee. So I understand the fears from the Americans on that point, but that's very nuanced. The lack of mobility from visa holders, which is irrelevant to me. And it says that they are tied to the sponsor job and they can't be flexible to find other jobs. I'm totally fine with that because if I sponsor you, you're going to work for me. I'm not sponsoring you to get to America and find your dream job. No, if I'm sponsoring you, the reliability is on me. I had to go apply for the visa, and I guarantee you it's not free. I guarantee you it's not free. The government going to get money from you no matter what. So if you go and you petition an H-1B visa for somebody, you're going to have to pay for that as a company. Let's see. None of these other, I think, cons are really that beneficial or are that consequential. Let me go to some pros. Fill in skill gaps in the workforce. And it says allow U.S. companies to hire highly skilled professionals, particularly in the STEM field where domestic talent shortages exist. Helps maintain U.S. competitiveness in global industries, particularly in technology and research. I do think that is an incredible pro. I don't know what planet we living on, but we are in competition with people all over the world. If America only sold and bought and competed in America, I'd say there'd be no purpose for an H-1B visa. But because some of these Fortune 500 companies and many companies in America are outsourcing materials and we're competing with China and all these other superpowers, we need to be able to source all the best talent from around the world. And if America is short on talent, American companies shouldn't suffer because of that, because we may can find somebody that's not an American that has a better talent pool, i.e. Elon Musk. Then we go on and says drive economic growth. I agree with that. Supports business development. I agree with that. Promotes innovation and research. I agree with that. Benefits higher education and research institutions. I agree with that. Strengthen U.S. as a global talent hub. I agree with that. And generates tax revenue. I'm not really familiar with how that helps, but it says H-1B visas holders pay federal and state taxes, local taxes, contributing to public service and infrastructure. Higher median salaries of H-1B visa workers lead to sustainable tax contributions. That makes sense. Pathways to permanent citizenship. Now, there's two ways to look at this, right? It says it provides a structure to route for higher skilled immigrants to transition to green card holders. Now, let's talk about this for a minute. After reading what I've read to you, I believe that H-1B visas are good and a net positive for the United States of America. I think that Americans who are at the bachelor's degree and higher, I think that you need to be working hard and be competitive. You can't go to a university and get a bachelor's degree in, booty wiping structural racism or something. Booty wiping structural racism. I couldn't think of nothing else. All right. So you can't go get a bachelor's degree in that and think you're going to be competitive, right? Obviously, these H-1B visas are mostly in technology and whatever the case may be, which is a very competitive field. So what does that mean for you? That means you need to compete. And I think the American citizen should have a priority over H-1B visa, obviously. But I think you need to be worried about competing and making sure you're the best person for your job. And also, Americans go and work in other countries, too. It's not like they only come over here. Americans go and work abroad, too, for major companies, even if it's legal or illegal. Hunter Biden. Okay. So what I will say is that I think that MAGA Republicans, some of these MAGA people are upset with Elon Musk because they're fearful of things that they don't understand and they don't know. Donald Trump, I'm pretty sure he had H-1B visa type people. Maybe when my company becomes bigger, I'll hire somebody that's a H-1B visa type person. And I don't think it's a negative thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that it's better to do that and spend our money and resources on people who are merit-based than have an immigration program where people who literally drain from the system will come over to here. And the people who are draining the system come over here and take y'all's jobs, the average American's job. The average American ain't in STEM programs. The average American ain't in technology. The average American is not in the higher echelons of education. The average American is working an average job. And the illegal aliens that are coming in our country and all these other immigrants that are coming in our country, they are the ones that are competing for the average American job. That's, to me, it gives us no benefit in having the average American competing with average people around the world for a job. It makes sense to me that people who are at very competitive educational levels that can become Elon Musk, to me, it's better to compete at that level because it's a small group of people who have a specialized skill that can give us the competitive advantage around the entire world, and that can change the accomplishments of the United States of America in generations to come. Let's just say we didn't allow it and we didn't have an Elon Musk. We would probably lost this election without Elon Musk, just so you know. No way in the world we would have electric cars at the level that we have without Elon Musk. We wouldn't be traveling and doing all this other stuff like Elon Musk. When people had the problems over in New York I mean, not New York, but in North Carolina, when those hurricanes hit, they didn't have Starlink. It probably would be no Starlink without an Elon Musk. So there's benefits to having competition, and there is no American that would have done what he did. If they would have, they'd already done it. So there's a need to have outside influence. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to move on. I do think that we need to, and I said this on Twitter just the other day. Maybe it was last night I was writing it. We need to end all future immigration requests. I don't care what immigration request it is. H-1B visa, none of it. We need to end all future requests temporarily until we figure out what are we doing with immigration in America. How many people are we going to allow in? Are we going to do a merit-based immigration? How are we going to manage this? We need to figure it out. We already got people on a backlog that's probably take 10 years to get through. So we don't need no new people coming. Let's figure out our system and what we want to do moving forward and what's best for America. And then I believe after we've fixed the loopholes and all this other crazy stuff, we shut the border down, we've got some level of security in place, then we can allow H-1B visas and merit-based immigration only. And maybe when our country becomes more prosperous in another 100 years or 50 years, we can start allowing other immigrants to come to America. But as it stands right now, you shouldn't come here and be a freeloader. You should not come here and be on a government assistant program whatsoever. If you come here to add value. You don't come here to be another person laying on the street begging for money. You don't come here to be another burden on the system. We got enough people in America doing that. And they deserve all the resources that we have offered to give, not people that come from foreign countries. Merit-based immigration is the immigration that I support. It's not my fault that you've been born in a country that's a crap hole country. It's not my fault, and we ain't gonna never be able to change it by allowing 100,000 of y'all when it's over 1 billion of y'all who's starving and they need an opportunity. We can't provide that opportunity. The best that America can do for you is to help your country get they together. Your country need to get their stuff together. We can help y'all do that. Let us help y'all help yourself, because we can't bring everybody to America. We only can bring the best and the brightest so that we can whoop these other countries over the head because our technology is far reaching. I want to have the best technology for the military. I want to have the best innovation so we can be competitive across the world for generations to come. We can't do that with Lupe and them sneaking across the fence. And that's what we need to bring to an end. So my conclusion about H-1B visas, I think that H-1B visas are a benefit to America. I am open to having a nuanced conversation, because if there's anything about the H-1B visa that we can prove that will hurt American values, I think we should reconsider them and modify them. But we should not get rid of H-1B visas. All right, let's get to the next thing. So let's talk about Joe Biden. While Joe Biden is on another vacation, according to the information that I've gotten from my I can say my right-hand man. I think I got two right-hand men. Pause. I got my boy Dylan over here and Nick working their butt off to get me this information. So according to my information gatherers, Joe Biden has spent 40% of his presidency on vacation. Joe Biden has now spent 570 days on vacation. Now, I haven't been a president before, so I don't know what is vacation and what's not vacation, right? I don't know if the president of the United States of America is considered to be on work unless they're not on work, and every day you're not working, you count that as a vacation day. I don't know if that's the case, right? Because therefore, you will have 100 and some days of vacation off the bat every year just because of the weekend. But when you look at what Joe Biden has done and how senile he is and how he's not active in any form or fashion in our government on major issues like shutting down the government, which he's the current president, how is he not speaking about the shutdown? How is he not speaking about a government standstill? I don't think he did a press conference about it. Did he? I didn't see him. He the president. They got Donald Trump out there talking. Let's play the clip from Fox News, because I think they do probably a better job at explaining it thoroughly, more so than me. Roll the clip. I don't hear anything. think we had a little technical difficulties. There you go.
Hey, speaking of doing nothing, if you're on vacation, we're not attacking you right now. We're not. You worked hard. You worked your tail off all 2024, and you're taking a little time with friends and family. This guy is different. Joe Biden, he has spent 570 days on vacation the last 4 years. Get out your calculator, America. That is 40% of his presidency. That means 4 out of every 10 days, for those of you who aren't good at math, Joe Biden has spent on a beach or otherwise at some form of not working.
Todd, did you do that math?
Of course, I got up here early this morning
on that graphic. Okay. I was afraid to do the numbers. That's 40%.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. 40% on vacation.
Hold on, let me pause it for a minute.
One person gets to be president.
Let me make sure. Like, I'm always the person that's not trying to be superfluous, right? Many people love clickbaity stuff. Like I said, I'm not sure how they calculate the president's vacations, because 4 out of 10 days on vacation isn't a bad number if you're talking about every single day of the year. That mean you work, if 4 out of 10, that mean you work with 6 days and have 4 days off. I mean, that's not a bad number, okay? Would they expect you to work 10 out of 10 days? I'm not sure, are they articulating his vacations being the days, 5 days a week, meaning Monday through Friday. If he got Monday through Friday and he's taking 4 days off every 10, that mean out of 2 weeks, he working 3 days a week. Well, you the president of the United States of America, you should probably be working 6 days a week, if you ask me, especially when the economy is what it is, especially when you got foreign wars everywhere. Bro, you should be on the clock. Donald Trump was on the clock. Donald Trump be taking a dump. He's still tweeting foreign leaders. Mr. Rocket Man, he on the toilet tweeting. And Joe Biden is taking these. But I'm going to let Fox News finish, and I'm going to see what other people have to say about it. But I'm interested in figuring out how they calculating these days off, because I know that Fox News and other people, they like to make clickbaity stuff, and if they're counting every single day, mean 365 days, and they're saying 40% of 365 days he's off, that's not a bad number. Roll the clip.
It is a grueling job. It demands more of you than most people. You can't compare the job of presidency to any other occupation. And if you're going to go and ask for it, beg for it, you got to be able to do it. And that 40% on vacation tells me he might not have been up for that job.
Yeah, and also a lot of these vacations, the White House argues the president can work from anywhere. So if he's at his beach house in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, then he has everything he needs, the command center, etc. He's in St. Croix until the new year, allegedly staying at a big donor's house. They won't confirm that, but that's where he stayed in the past. This image of him laying on the beach.
Beautiful.
A lot of these things happen when there were major things happening in the world, like our troops coming under fire in the Middle East, for example, wars breaking out all over the place. So that the course of his 4 years, the timing of these vacations also was a big problem, and the optics of it certainly didn't help him when it came to trying to run for re-election and then also getting kicked off of his own party's ticket as Americans watched that and said, where's the leadership? The world is on fire and the president is sprawled out on the beach.
Joe, I want to take issue with something that you said. You said only one person can be president. That Wall Street Journal article seemed to imply that, no, multiple people can be president at once, and they were for the last 4 years.
I'm Steve Doocy.
All right, so now that we've gotten that out the way, I think that it's fair to say that regardless of how many days he actually took off, I don't think he's ever there. he there, but he ain't there. I've seen him. Everybody's seen him. That's why he ain't run for re-election. He was supposed to be the most popular president in American history, but he didn't run for re-election. Why? Everybody said he was good. He's healthy. No, because he wasn't there. It's like having a dad that lived with you, but he ain't a real dad. Some people got their mama and daddy, but their daddy ain't never there, although he at the house. If y'all know what I'm saying. That means he's there, but he don't spend no time with you. He don't talk to you. He ain't helping mama around the house. That dude is just literally another body laying on a couch somewhere. He is not active whatsoever. He's a glorified babysitter. And Joe Biden was the same thing as far as the president of the United States of America. I think he was just a body, a fill-in. He come and do a couple scripted speeches here and there. I don't know he was running nothing. Look at him now. Now that Trump won, how is he not involved no more? Hey, fool, you still the president. Okay. Also, what has happened in the world of Sleepy Joe on vacation is that while he was sleeping somewhere, there's a new video or picture that was released of Joe and Hunter Biden in photographs with Chinese leadership. Do we have a photo? We're going to pull that photo up here in a minute. But this should give ammunition to Donald Trump to investigate this. Because to be quite honest, there's no reason, as we know he's a crackhead. I don't understand how we don't investigate if these people were compromised. He's smoking crack and doing dirty deals, and we know he's doing deals and his son was involved in it. Why are we not investigating this? This the quid pro quo. What do they call it when you have your kids and something? Nepotism, all kind of other weird stuff that's going on. If his son was an upstanding person that's a good businessman, I would understand why Joe Biden would have his son with him on these things. But then when you see that his brother and his son was making millions of dollars working for these foreign governments, his son didn't even pay taxes on some of that money he got because he didn't want the government to know he was getting foreign money in the tunes of like $20 million or $2 million. I said 20. I think it was like $2 million. He didn't want the government to know he was getting money like that. The crookedness of these people. Let me just say something real quick. I want to point this out. Because I think some people may be thinking that they're conspiracy theorists if they think this. It's like the movies. Where do you think they get the movie content from? From real life. Just like in the movies, based on real content, the people that have been running our country have been doing dirty deals for a very long time. They've been doing quid pro quo. They've been doing stuff behind people's backs. They've been doing getting their family enriched. They've been doing dirty deals. We all know they've been doing this. Donald Trump is the first time that it hasn't happened, and he's exposing them. Hillary Clinton had a private server in her house. Why do you think she had the private server? Because she was doing side deals with foreign governments to enrich her family. That's what they were doing. That's why when they say, we need to subpoena your laptop, she delete 30,000 emails and beat her devices. Because they couldn't dare let the people know that she's doing dirty deals. And they got some of her emails in Benghazi. You had the American citizens at the embassy saying, we need help, we need reinforcement. They sent 600 emails to her. She didn't answer one of them. But she was also simultaneously communicating with a person that did not work for the government in Benghazi, communicating about her own personal interests while avoiding Americans who said they need help and reinforcement in Benghazi. And she totally got absolved of that. That's a crime. She should have been put to death for that, if you ask me. This is what they do. Then Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, his son working for Burisma, getting paid money from Ukraine. Joe Biden literally did a quid pro quo on television, withholding loan guarantees from the Ukrainian government if they don't fire the prosecutor that was investigating his son. He said it in front of the world. It's still on tape. He said, if you don't fire that person by the time such and such happened, I ain't giving you the money. He said, oh crap, what do you know? They fired him and we gave him the loan guarantee. That's a quid pro quo. 10% to the big man. What do you think that means? Hunter Biden is on crack. What business deals is he doing? We know what they were doing. Donald Trump needs to hold them accountable to it. Anyway, just more fodder, more evidence for these crazy lunatics. Let's move to the next story. I think we talked about it before about MAGA turning on Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. I don't think MAGA is. I think some people are. Let me tell you something real quick. I want you to pay attention to the people who are claiming that Elon and Vivek is bad. I want you to pay attention to the accounts. And then I want you to Google search the people who are criticizing them. And I want you to look at their background. Go look at their background. I got a couple people in mind. I'm not saying their names. But look at the stuff they're involved in. Look at the things that they've done in the past. Look at their true reputation. not the reputation that they've gotten from the MAGA people, because MAGA people ain't looking deep diving into your background. You like Trump, you speak good about Trump, people fall in love with you all over again. But go look at the people who are criticizing them and look at what their social media stance is and what their history is. I don't think any legitimate person is turning on Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy because of H-1B visas. Now, people may criticize, but the people who are turning on them, saying that they're deep state shields and all this stuff, go look at that person's reputation. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. It says Democrat governor foes to Trump as she turns on sanctuary cities protecting illegal immigrants. Let's play that clip real quick, because I think that what's his face, Mayor Adams, and I think Mayor Adams has a vested interest in doing whatever Trump wants him to do, because Trump is going to have to pardon him. I'm just saying. I think they're trying to get him on federal crimes, and Donald Trump is going to be the one to have to pardon a community sentence. So I think that's why Mayor Adams is all of a sudden trying to be on Trump's side and trying to stand up for what's right, when he was talking so much trash about Donald Trump all these years. But anyway, they have to come back around because he officially won, and he going to start putting these dogs down. And I'm not saying down like you'll put a dog down, but I'm saying their reputation. Roll the clip.
If the Trump administration requests it, would the Massachusetts State Police assist in mass deportations?
No, absolutely not. But, let me say this. I do think it's important that we all recognize that there's going to be a lot of pressure on states and state officials. And I can assure you, we're going to work really hard to deliver. Some realities also need to be, noted, and that is in 2016, we had a very different situation in the courts. And while I'm sure there may be litigation ahead, there's a lot of other ways that people are going to act and need to act for the sake of their states and their residents. There's regulatory authority and executive powers and the like. There's legislation also within our states. So I think that the key here is that every tool in the toolbox has got to be used to protect our citizens, to protect our residents, and protect our states, and certainly to hold the line on democracy and the rule of law as a basic principle, right? Remember, this is a federal issue. It was created by the federal government. It's why I've advocated so hard for a bill to fix the border. President Trump has come in. He's promised to fix the border. I hope he does just that. And he's got control of both Congress and Senate now. So get that done, Mr. President, because we need it. What I also, tried to take this approach, John, of how do we deal with the fact that we've got these numbers coming in that were required by law to house, but how do we do that in a way that actually gets them out and on to independent living? So we process 4,000 people for work authorization. They're working out in communities in Massachusetts. Some have already left the state. I'm shutting down hotels. I don't think that's a place for anyone to live. And we're making important reforms to our shelter system, which frankly have needed to be made for decades. And I think that these things are going to make a difference. We're seeing the number of migrant families coming into Massachusetts go way down. That's good, because I've also sent the message. Massachusetts, we are not a sanctuary state. If you come here, there is not housing here. And I think that's been effective in changing the trajectory of what we're seeing. But we also have to...
Yeah, right. You see how their tones change. I'm not working with him. I'm not doing it and that. Oh, now we're not a sanctuary state, and we got. Then why are you not going to work with him? These people. It's sad, man. Let me just say this, and I reap the benefits of being very popular because I'm authentic. But the sad thing is, people are not authentic. They just say whatever. I mean, that lady just said whatever. It was convenient for her to say that she don't like Donald Trump, and now it's not convenient anymore because he won the election, and now now it's all coming back in full circle. I don't know why they can't just say we will support deportation. And I don't understand why they can't be honest and say, If Donald Trump is going to mass deport random people, we don't support that. If Donald Trump is going to deport people who should be deported, we're going to work with him to do so. We do need the criminals out of our cities. And if you have overstayed your visa or whatever case may be, and you have already a deportation order, we're going to participate with the president to make sure that happens. Why can't they just say that? Why can't they just say that? Because then that'll make their party look stupid and they'll make Donald Trump look good. Donald Trump only wants to do what's right for the American people. That's all he wants to do. He wants to do what's right for the American people. And we voted for him to deport people that shouldn't be here. Because we don't need to be talking about H-1B visas if we got a whole bunch of illegals just running around our country taking resources. And yeah, America is built on immigrants. I agree. Most of the people that built America didn't originate in America. They came here at some point in time. Many of our greatest people were immigrants, but legal immigrants, vetted immigrants who wanted the American dream, who would assimilate. All of those things are appropriate and apparent. What's the other one we had? I thought it was another subject I wanted to talk about. Hold on one second. Let me look this up. Y'all comment in the comment section so I can see what you are. And any of the super chats we got, pop them up on the screen for me if you can. I thought I sent some other stuff here. Y'all give me 1 second. There's something I want to find in here. Let's see. I thought I was going to find it. We had the story, and I wasn't here. I came late, y'all, so forgive me. We had the story of the thugs that decided to rob somebody and ended up getting shot in Houston, Texas. That's one. So if we can just find that one real quick. I think that was one of the ones that I really wanted to talk about. But let's move on. I'll try to get some of the comments real quick, and then we'll get back to me running my mouth about some of this stuff. CNN had a reaction to H-1B. Well, let's do this real quick. Pop that up there. Let me get some of your comments, the super chats. I want to see the super chats. And I appreciate all y'all comments. Like the video, like the video, like the video, like the video. I appreciate it. Let's see. I'm going to read a couple of these super chats just real quick. Let's see. Not a banned account. It's I personally saw U.S. energy replaced by H-1B visas. Okay. Let's see. Ronnie, thanks so much for the super chat. Been a member for a month. If there is someone more qualified to do a job offer in American, then so be it. Oh, okay. I think I'm reading right. Someone qualified to do the job other than an American, I think, then so be it. If you don't want to give up, if you don't want it given to someone else, work harder, be better. I agree. Dustin, I want to be like you when I grow up. Dustin is a troll. He going to spend $100 in 1 year trolling. Tiffany, thanks so much for the super chat. Hey, Brandon, love your live your show. Do your ever talk? Okay, oh my God. I can't read, and Tiffany, you can't write. Okay, that's not a good combination. I think what you want to say is, hey, Brandon, love your live show. Do you ever talk to Greg from Black Conservative Perspective? Y'all have the best channels. Yes, I do. I saw Greg at the event at AmFest. I love Greg. I remember when Greg first started out and we were on a live stream together. And matter of fact, y'all, we probably going to bring that show back where all the we had the conservatives in the four squares, because there's a lot of new guys. DeVory and some of these other guys are new, and I want us to all get to know everybody in the movement. Doug says, I want to see Officer Tatum debate Kyle Kalinske. Is that how you say your name? Kyle Kalinske. He has a channel, Secular Talk. Get him, Officer Tatum. I don't know who Kyle Kalinske is, but I'm always open to have a discussion with people. I don't really like the word debate. I don't really like to debate, because debate could be a particular strategy. Like somebody that has a better debate strategy will win a debate, although they lost the argument. It just depends on how well a person can articulate a debate. But I love to have a discussion with people, because I think that everything that I say is 100% right, or I wouldn't say it. But I'm always open to different opinions. I don't know what your title is, but thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Fantasy football, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, what is that? Mental medalist's wife, is that? I think I'm saying it right. When can we get rid of Nobbing Hobbs? I guess you're saying Katie Hobbs. I don't know, man. Next time, let me tell y'all something. I got a secret for you if you live in Arizona. And then I'm going to get back to a couple news things. I got a secret for you if you live in Arizona. Donald Trump revealed it, and I don't know if y'all saw it. When he was at AmFest, he turned to Karen Taylor Robeson, and he said, Karen Taylor Robeson, if you run for governor, I got your back. Let me explain this to you guys, and I hope that you don't get mad at me. And I saw Carrie Lake, because Carrie Lake actually spoke before me at AmFest, and I saw her behind the stage. I gave her a big hug. I love Carrie Lake. But I also am now being privy to the politics of Arizona, the political atmosphere. If Karen Taylor Robeson would have been the nominee, she would have won by 300,000 votes for governor. Don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you the truth. And it's not because Karen Taylor Robeson is better than Carrie Lake. It's because Arizonans believe that Karen Taylor Robeson is more palatable than Carrie Lake. And she got way more money than Carrie Lake. Karen Taylor Robeson, when she was running in the primary against Carrie Lake, Karen Taylor Robeson raised like $19 million in the primary. Carrie Lake rose $3 million. She was able to raise $3 million. Karen Taylor Robeson raised $19 million. I say rose. Raised $19 million. Karen Taylor Robeson had the endorsement of the current governor, Governor Doug Ducey, or he was the current governor, that won by 300,000 votes. He refused to endorse Carrie Lake. So I'm just saying, we will not have Katie Hobbs for a second term. I put my career on it. Whenever the election comes up again, Donald Trump would have done so well. Karen Taylor Robeson is going to run this time. She's going to win by a landslide in the primary, and she's going to win by a substantial amount in the general election, and Karen Taylor Robeson will be the governor of Arizona. I can almost put my career on it. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just letting y'all know. And that's not because she's my choice. It's because I think she would be Arizona's choice, because I voted for Carrie Lake a few times. All right, did we get that clip of the kids that end up getting shot from robbing that guy? Are we working on the clip? Okay, can you give me some information on that, Dylan, just so I can have something to read off of? But anyway, it was a concealed carry incident where 3 teenagers attempted to rob somebody, and they end up they messed around and found out the hard way. And I'll say this: give me some more of the Q. I'm gonna do a little Q&A while we find that. So bring the chat back to me so I can see it right here. And shout out to all y'all for coming on. Looked like we had almost 10,000 people watching live. It looked like we're growing. And I appreciate you watching the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you hit the like button, and get you some of this merch. 47% off. We just giving it away pretty much. 47% off. All you got to do is put NYE47 at Tatum store, and you'll get all you need. Okay, let's see. Tommy said, trust Trump and his men. They aren't even in the White House yet. Already you judge Tatum. Can we talk about Christ? Email me, young man, here on. Can y'all please learn how to write? I said I can't read, and y'all can't write. Put some commas and stuff in your super chats, because I don't understand this. This says trust Trump and his men. Deal. I trust Trump and his men. They aren't even in the White House yet. I agree. Already you judge Tatum. So are you saying I'm judging him? Are you saying people are judging him? Because I just said I agree with him. And then I think Trump doing a good job. And then I believe that Elon Musk and them are doing good. You're saying I'm judging them because I said he need to prosecute people? Is that what you're saying? Tommy, come on, Tommy. Thank you for the super chat, but I hope that you're not saying I'm judging Trump when I haven't. That's a wasted $10 if you didn't watch the show. What's your thoughts on multiculturalism? Somebody asked, what's your thoughts on multiculturalism? Well, let me just say this very clearly. I think that the more diverse culturally you have of people that believe in the same mission is the greatest country you can have. Everybody should want to be an American and live by the American creed, but bring all that you've learned, your history, your culture and heritage, your food, especially your food. Bring that with you under the umbrella of the American dream, and I think we'll be better. Don't come over here thinking that somehow this is going to be Sharia law, okay? Don't come over here thinking that this is Israel. Come over here and understand that you're in the United States of America. We have a unique history. We have a code that we live by. And if you want to be here with us all. Don't come over here pushing your agendas. That's all I'm saying. You could push your agenda at your house. You could push your agenda on Thanksgiving. You could push your agenda when you with your own people. But when you come to America, you stand up, put your hand over your heart, say the Pledge of Allegiance. You stand up when the national anthem is sung, or get your out of here. The end. Okay. What's it, Sharisa? What, how you say that? I think it's Sharisa. Love your videos and so glad I've actually been following you for years. Pray for you and your family. God bless. Thank you so much. God bless you for being a member for 48 months. Ship out all the U.S.-born OnlyFans and Instagram models who bring nothing to America's success. I don't know if we're going to do all that. I say we should pray for them, though. We should pray for them. Because I think they're misguided. They should have their efforts and energy in one direction and not foolery. And I'll tell you this. Let me do this. For you men that are out there listening to me, the only reason there's OnlyFans is because of y'all. Woo, I got to dodge these bullets. Don't shoot the messenger. The only reason that women are doing OnlyFans is because they daddy didn't raise them, and they daddy didn't raise sons that won't buy their memberships. You can't do OnlyFans and ain't nobody buying it. And I guarantee you women ain't buying women's OnlyFans. It's y'all. The girls on Instagram ain't on Instagram busting it open and putting their booty in thongs all in front of y'all if nobody was clicking and liking it. The algorithm would show none of them to you if you hadn't liked it. I looked at a few of them, and I gotta get on there. I looked at a few because it's hard not to see some of it. And I had to get on there and put not interested, not interested, not interested, not interested, because I don't want all that booty in my feed. But it is a struggle. I see why some men get off Instagram, because it's just they put it right there. You looking for politics and you see a girl doing golf in her booty cheeks, and you like, what does this have to do with golf? I really want to see if you can do the driver or not, but your booty cheeks are popping out. I saw a girl do something the other day. It was some girls that were cheerleading for one of the teams that's in the playoffs. Girl, why you like this? And you cheerleading. It ain't about you. It's about the football team. Why your booty out in the photo? Y'all got a football in your hand, and homegirl in the middle got a boot. She turned around this way. Ma'am, how you looking at the camera and you this way? Wait, what does that got to do with football? Not interested. I got to put not interested on there. But just men. I want to speak to the men real quick. Do not complain about women being on OnlyFans without first acknowledging that it's your fault. Not yours personally, but men in general. When men don't raise their women right, those young girls right, they don't love their daughters become whores. And they're looking for love in the wrong places. And then likewise, when you don't raise your young man to have integrity and whatever, he looking for them in the wrong places. And that's how you get all kind of stuff going wrong. And let me say something else. I want to say this real quick. How many people on there? Did everybody quit me, or are they still watching? I want to say this real quick because I had this question asked of me when I was at AmpFest. People asked me about relationships, and I didn't get a chance to fully say this, so I'm going to say it real quick, and I'm going to get to the teens that got smoked because they tried to rob somebody. The young man asked me, why don't women come up to men instead of men approaching women? And I panned the crowd and I said, women, what do y'all think about that? Of course, they didn't think it was a good idea for a man to approach a woman to approach a man. And the reason why young men feel that way, because women aren't approachable sometimes. And also men don't have the courage because they don't believe in themselves enough to approach a woman because they don't think that they're worthy. So men got to get out of their head and they got to think about, if I'm going to approach a woman, what do I have to offer this woman? Because if you don't feel like you have nothing to offer her, therefore you don't want to approach her because you don't want to get turned down. And if you know you have worth and you know you have something to offer, if she do turn you down, you know she ain't the one. I said this and people looked at me like a three-headed monster. I said, young man, if you can't pay when you take a woman on a date and you don't pay, or you want to go 50-50, you're not ready for a relationship. Men get mad at you. I don't gold diggers. No, let me tell you this. She ain't the one. Because when she the one, you ain't thinking twice about paying. When I met my wife, before she was my wife, what? Paying? I wanted to first let her know that I got it. Second, I want her to know I'm gonna take care of her. Third, I loved her enough, I liked her enough, I was interested in her enough that I wanted to treat her. It wasn't about what she can do for me. It's about what I was gonna show her that I could do for her. And when it's the right woman, you ain't asking about 50-50. When it's the wrong woman, that's the only thing you can think about. Well, who gonna pay for it? Hey, I took her out on a date. I don't know why I'm on this date with this girl. She not even, no. Young man, so just go back to the drawing board. When you get that woman that's worth it to you, you will pay and won't think twice about it. I'm just saying, let's move on, okay? 3 teens were shot attempting to rob a man at gunpoint in North Harris County, Texas. I think that's in Houston, Texas. It says the incident occurred earlier Thursday at an apartment complex on North Houston Roslyn Road. The 25-year-old victim, armed with his own pistol, shot 3 out of the 4 teens. 1 teen is in critical condition while the other 2 sustained life-threatening injuries. A 14 and a man were detained for questioning by authorities. Weapons were recovered at the scene, including possibly BB guns, which are under investigation. The case will be presented to a grand jury for further review. Roll the clip.
Good morning, Amy. In the course of the investigation, deputies learned those kids were just between the ages of 12 and 14 years old, and they tried robbing a man.
Hold on. Woo. 12? But between 12 and 14? The kids still peeing in the bed and they robbing people? 12, man. I think that's 6th grade. How old is a 12? What grade would a 12-year-old be? Maybe that's 7th grade. No, hold on. Let's see. 14 would probably be freshman in high school. 13 would be 8th grade. Around 12 would be 7th grade. And the 14-year-old could be in 8th grade, depending on how long. 6th or 7th grade. So you talking about middle schoolers robbing somebody at gunpoint. I wonder what color they are. My mama got mad at me earlier by saying that. She like, Brandon, sometimes I think I say, Mama, the truth is the truth. Look at this stuff. I haven't looked up the teenagers or nothing. I haven't looked up these kids. I don't know what they look like. Now, I believe I know what they look like, but I haven't seen them. Maybe they'll post a clip of this. Why are our young people doing this? If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. I'll apologize after I watch this. I haven't seen nothing, y'all, so I don't have any pre-knowledge. This just seemed like something that young black men, young black teens are doing because they out of control. Do white teens do this? Yeah, but not at the same rate. But I could be wrong. These could be white kids. In North Houston, it could be white. Roll the clip.
And with a gun, deputies say at least 3 of those kids were shot. One of them is still in critical condition at last check. When Harris County Sheriff deputies showed up here, they found one of the kids with several gunshot wounds. He was taken to a nearby trauma center in critical condition, as I just mentioned. And as paramedics were tending to him, 2 other kids were found with gunshot wounds. Both were taken to the hospital and are stable. Shortly after that, the suspected shooter, who deputies believe the teens were trying to rob, returned to the scene and turned himself in.
I heard some gunshots. Sound like they were.
Now, you see all those cops, all of them were white. You didn't see a black cop in sight. What does that mean? To me, that means that this is a predominantly white neighborhood, or at least the jurisdiction is white. Because you don't normally, when you see, if you're patrolling a black neighborhood, you'll see some ethnic cops. You see all white cops there. That to me tells me that this probably a white neighborhood. But who's the shooters? Roll the clip.
Basically at my front door. And of course, as you can see from behind me, they were down the way a little bit. To be frank and honest with you, I grabbed my gun, which is in a holster, and walked outside to see what was going on.
It is believed the incident occurred due to an attempted aggravated robbery that involved the juveniles attempting to rob the adult male. During the incident, the juveniles approached the male, and they were displaying pistols. The adult male retrieved his own pistol and shot the juveniles.
All right, do we have any pictures of these juveniles? We have any video surveillance of the shootout? One could only guess that it was young black men. And why do you say this, Brandon? Because we gotta address these things so our young people can do better. This sounds like something young brothers would do to another brother. As you can see, the black man live in an apartment complex. I bet you this is a diverse apartment complex, middle income. But I bet you there was a black kid, and these other black kids were either told he was selling drugs or doing something he wasn't, and they wanted to catch him and rob him. I think it was intended at this one person. And I bet you in the midst of all these white folks and all this stuff, it's a bunch of young black men involved in crazy stuff like this. If I'm wrong, I'll turn around and apologize. Anyway, I wanna show this clip of Don Lemon. I think, Nick, you can get it. It's in the chat. I just hearted it. Y'all know that Don Lemon decided that he was going to do a Man on the Street show. And I don't know, for everybody that's watching, do you think I should do a Man on the Street? I think it'd be cool. We can go right to ASU and do a Man on the Street. Because I think that it's very interesting to hear people's thoughts. Now, I do the Man on the Street, but I won't wear no Trump stuff. I'll just be a regular black man and just see how people will talk to a black man on the street that they think is a Democrat. I would be anxious to see, even people who are conservative. I would love to hear what conservatives would say if they think I was a black liberal. I think it'll be good content. Comment in the comment section. Put a 1 if you think I should do some Man on the Street stuff. We can do it. We got the time. But Don Lemon decided to have this new show where he goes on the streets and he decides to interview random people. One thing I do have respect for Don Lemon on is that Don Lemon at least will play him getting embarrassed. Normally they'll put it out there and they won't show the ones that do not go well for him. And when he was going and interviewing people before the election and everybody was saying Trump is going to win and we all vote for Trump, he at least put it out there, which I was shocked. Coming from CNN, I was shocked that he put it out there. But Nick is getting this clip together because he decided to ask a black man, which I think Don Lemon, for some reason, still think all black men are in the liberal plantation, and they're not. So let's pull up this clip real quick and play Don Lemon because I think it's important to see. If you're ready, let me know. Roll the clip.
Who is the real president-elect, do you think?
Donald Trump won, I believe.
Democratic lawmakers in Washington are calling Elon Musk President Musk now, and they're saying Donald Trump is the vice president or the head of communications.
What's? Wait a second. No one said that.
Really? Have you not watched and paid attention to the
Absolutely
news?
not. I'm paying attention to what I'm doing during my day so I can try and get a better life and get ahead.
Okay, do you have your phone with you?
I do.
Why don't you Google right now?
Yes, tell me.
President Musk and see what comes up.
No. But that's already a loaded question, you realize.
Tell me, give me the sources.
Axios, Business Insider.
Oh.
We don't trust
Keep
any
going,
of these. The
keep
common
going,
man doesn't
keep
trust
going,
any of this.
keep going.
ABC News,
Oh,
Washington
keep
Post,
going.
New York Times,
Oh, keep going.
The Atlantic.
Oh!
I don't trust any of these.
Oh!
I don't trust any of them.
Okay.
I don't trust any of these. We're the common man. We don't trust any of these. No one trusts the government. No one trusts the common news. We don't trust any of that anymore.
Well,
Independent news, we are the ones that own the news now. People trust me. They don't trust MSNBC because I care and I'm actually one of them.
Can't disagree with you.
Okay.
Because
Well then.
I get a lot of people coming to me saying, I only watch you. I don't watch corporate media anymore.
Right.
Ding, 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 ding. I don't know who he's talking to. The common man, black, white, or whatever. The common man with common sense. This is how they feel. Nobody's taking that. That's how they lost the election. Nobody's taking what they say seriously. It's taken with a grain of salt. MSNBC says, Elon Musk, we know their tactic. I said this on the stage at AmFest during my speech, and I got it from somebody saying Patrick Bet-David said it, right? And it triggered in my mind. I think Patrick Bet-David is right. So I said it after hearing that he said it. I didn't hear him say it. Somebody said he said it, and I took it. So don't think I'm trying to say this is my own unique idea. But I think he was, in part, I took from him. I don't know exactly what he said in totality. But my perception of it is that Donald Trump was a threat to them. They tried to kill him, impeach him, you name it. They tried to do it, put him in prison, ruin his reputation. They lied on him. They said they came up with a fake Iowa poll. I mean, they tried to do everything they could. They gave $2.5 billion to Kamala Harris's campaign. They did everything they could. They were all on him. They couldn't stop talking about him. They didn't bring up nobody else's name but Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. He won. And then they realized, Donald Trump only had 4 years. Elon Musk has a lot of influence. And his money is getting longer and longer and longer. And he can outlast 4 years. We got to go against Elon Musk now. Because we got to destroy his reputation, his character. Because Donald Trump only got 4 and he gone. Elon Musk has the capability of funding every Republican for the next 50 years if he wanted to. And they don't want to see that happen. So what do? Like the Don Lemon clip. They made up a whole fake scenario where Elon Musk is now the president. Elon Musk has more power than they said that Donald Trump was an egomaniac. He's narcissistic. He doesn't listen to anybody. But all of a sudden, Elon Musk is taking over. I thought Donald Trump was Hitler. Last time I checked, Hitler was the leader and nobody else was. Oh, but now Hitler is vice president. Come on, man. Y'all put y'all foot in your, you know what? Y'all know I want to say it. They put their foot in their butt, and then they walking around with 1 foot in their butt, and they can't get it out, and everybody can see them. All right, let me do a couple items here. I want to tell you guys about Prison Fellowship real quick, and I think that's the only one. I already mentioned the store. Maybe we'll do the store second, but I want to tell you guys about Prison Fellowship for 2 reasons. One is to thank you, and 2 is to give you an opportunity to give before the year end. That's it. No pressure. But I want to first off say thank you to everybody who gave to Angel Tree. If you guys don't know, we're at 4,800 kids that we were able to serve from your generous donation. Because I donated $5,000. That was all I gave. So $5,000, I don't know how many kids that helped. $5,000 helped like 400 kids or something like that. And so I was only able to help 400. So 4,800, you can say 4,400 other kids was because of you guys. Because of your generous gift, your generous donations, and I'm sure most people didn't donate thousands of dollars. Most people gave something. So you either help 1 kid, you help 2 kids, you help 3 kids. Some of you guys may have given $1,000 to help, I think, 30 kids. You name it. You guys were, have 300 kids. You name it. You guys have, I don't know what the numbers are. But I do want to say I appreciate you guys. Also, the people who have donated or who didn't have opportunity to donate for the Christmas presents, you still have time to give, and this is what you give to. Prison Fellowship has a program that inmates can apply to, and only a few can get in because it's such a demand. I mean, when I went to Perryville, they had women that have been on a wait list for a few years because there's so many women that are seeking the guidance and seeking the program that Prison Fellowship is offering. And I'm not just telling you something I read in a book. I was physically there. I saw them the program that I watched, or at least the learning program that I saw, was affirmation, self-talk. What are you saying to yourself? How are you uplifting yourself? What lies have you told yourself to make you feel like you need to be this person or react this way? These young women, and not all of them were young, but these women were having conversations, crying. It's like a counseling. I mean, they were getting, I would say, liberated by just having these fruitful conversations and thinking about certain things in their mind that I guarantee you they wish they had before they ever went in there. It was so good to see. And it really gave me a lot of hope that I not only was supporting the organization because I know that they're good, I saw it with my own eyes. So if you want to continue to help Prison Fellowship as the end of the year gift, many of y'all need to get some tax write-offs anyway. So please give. The link will be in the description section. Also, they've given out 150,000 Bibles, and they've serviced over 250,000 kids through Angel Tree. And so you're working with an organization that literally does good work. We partner with this organization. So not only do I give to Prison Fellowship and Angel Tree every single year, we also partner as a facility that will help in the future, because we were too late this year. But next Christmas, some of you guys can come to the facility and we'll wrap the presents for the kids, and we'll also throw a party for them to come and get the gifts right here at Tatum headquarters. So I just want to throw that out there, say how much I appreciate it. But please give towards the end of the year. If y'all need a tax write-off, this is a great organization to support. All right, I want to say something about the Tatum store. Just so you guys know, we got a bunch of new stuff. Our hats are here. I feel terrible about giving this away for 47% off, but my team said let's do it. 47% off anything you see on the store towards, by the end of the year. So all of our new products, go down a little bit. This is my wife's favorite. I'm in my Trump era. Hold on, go down. Yep, click on that one. In my Trump era. My wife be designing all kind of stuff, but anything on Tatum store right now, 47% off to the end of the year. So you better get it now. If you ever had anything you want to buy from the store, you better get it now. And we also have this new shirt right here, New Year's celebration, that we just put on there. You can get it right now for 47% off. I am not, after January 1, I'm not doing this no more. Y'all kicking my butt with this, but my team said let's do it. 47% off. All you got to do is put in code NYE, so like New Year's Eve kind of slogan, NYE47, and you'll get 47% off your order. I want to see y'all run the store dry, because come January 1st, I ain't doing 47% off. And that, I guess that includes my photo too. Go up. The photograph of me signed, I guess that includes that too. They didn't take it off there, so you better get it. If you want an autographed photo of me, they're right there, and I sign every one of them. As they come in, I sign them. I'm not doing custom ones because it's too many people. I did that for Christmas, but I'm not doing custom autographs. So if you sign it, 47% off, that's what you get. I love you. I appreciate you guys. All right, let's go back to the live stream. All right, now that we're back, I just want to end the live stream with this. I'm going to answer a couple super chats, but I love you guys. I appreciate you. I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a Happy New Year. Let me get to these super chats. If you want to ask me a question, now's the time. Super chat the question, I'll answer it. The only reason I do the super chats like that because it's easy, okay? $1 is a super chat, so you can literally do $1. It's easy for me to read, and I don't have to look through 1,000 messages doing like this. let's go to the one that I didn't answer. Is this the one? That's the one? I guess that is. Let's see. Vapor. Been baptized in Jesus' name. I appreciate you, brother. That's only in Jesus' name. That's my whole thing. Don't get mad at me. I only believe in baptism in Jesus' name. Okay. Let's see, Craig. Thanks so much for the super chat. America is a melting pot, not a stir fry. I freaking love that. It is a melting pot, not a stir fry. If you guys don't know, when you're in a melting pot, you melt and everything becomes one, right? It's where it all melts together in a melting pot. A stir fry is a bunch of stuff lumped on top of the other. And to be quite honest, sometimes you like a little something over here better than you do the other stuff. So sometimes stuff get left out because you like this better than the other one. We're supposed to be all one nation under God. All right, Tommy, thanks so much. It says, I watch your show and I like it. I meant people are always judging harshly. Not you, my friend. Okay. I watch my grammar and punctuation. Thanks. I hope I didn't offend you, man. But when I read it, I said, I don't, me? Yeah, I thought you was talking about me. Thank God you want to talk about me. Okay, Chris, thanks so much. Says, preach, God bless you. God bless you back. Sue, hey, Brandon, good work here. Where are you in the military? I guess was I in the military? No, I wasn't in the military. I was just a police officer, and I did SWAT. So I was never in the military, although I always wanted to go into the military. I have my stories about how I tried to get into the military, and it didn't work out. I applied. This is just for you Air Force people out there. I applied for the Air Force. I had a degree, so I was going to go in as an officer. But they told me I couldn't because I had a kid out of wedlock, which I don't blame them. That is what it is. But they said at the recruiting office in Tucson, Arizona, they told me I need to get married. And I'm like, man, I'm not going to just get married just to join the freaking Air Force, man. I got to make sure I want to be with this woman. Thank God I didn't get married. But they did me like that. And I was going to join the Marine Corps in 2016 or 15 because I love the Marines. I love the uniform. I was watching the officer school 1,000 times in my mind. I was making up my mind I was going to join the Marine Corps. And I went there to the recruiting office, and they had a tattoo policy. Now I got way too many tattoos in PT gear, but they said you can only have so many tattoos in PT gear. He said, I'll send in the waiver because I think you right there on the edge. I sent a waiver in, I'll let you know. He never came back to me, and I said, maybe that's a sign from God. I'm glad I didn't because I didn't want to get deployed that many times. I probably would have ruined my family if I'd done that, to be quite honest. And if I didn't have no kids, bring it on. Let's see, Mr. Miyagi. Oh, my God. Maybe that's Mr. Miyagi if you Spanish or something. I don't know. Anyway, hello, Officer Tatum. I hope you had a Merry Christmas, sir. I love your show and what you stand for. Can you take a look at the homicide that occurred in Food Line in Greensboro, North Carolina, please? An officer lost his life. Dylan, we may not go through it now, but can you pull that article up and save it for me? All right, let's see. Okay. The next one from Ronnie. Thanks so much for the super chat. Is there a date for AmFest 2025? I think it's every year the same date. AmFest is the same date every year, unless they change it this time. But I think it's always from like the 16th through the 19th or something like that every year. Let's see. What do you enjoy most about your Christmas? I think the most thing I enjoyed was being able to spend time with my wife on Christmas Day. We both were sick, actually. We both had bubble guts. We ate something bad. But I was able to finally spend some time with my wife, and we watched a movie series. There was 5 series. 5 hours of just watching that show, and it was crazy. Y'all got to go watch it. I think it was on Netflix. So that was fun, but also watching my youngest son open gifts and enjoy Christmas was so fun. You know, y'all, I hope he ain't watching this. Wife, if Bo watching this, turn it off real quick. So, I mean, I did it big. I got little powdered sugar and stuff, and it looked like snow. I sprinkled the powdered sugar around and I put my shoe down, messed my boots up, so it looked like Santa walked from the chimney down and left snow. I drank the stuff, and that's probably how I got sick. I ate something wrong. Probably them cookies I ate, trying to be Santa. But I did all that, and to see him be like, He came. That just made me so happy. Anyway, let's see. Corn Pop. Can we be what? Can we be boyfriends ND and girlfriends I'm the boy? What? Do you know what does that mean? You going to hell if you saying something crazy. You going to hell. You better not be no gay stuff. All right, come on. It says date set for AmFest 2025. Sorry for the typo. I think it's every year between the 16th and the 19th or something like that. It's the same days every year. Let's see. Tiffany, thanks so much for the super chat. I think I know why some super chats aren't clear because mine wasn't earlier. It's iPhone autocorrect and not in a good way. All right, Tiffany, thank you so much. Let's see. Rob Dunn. Is your store worldwide? I'm in the UK. Yes, we ship all over the world, especially to the UK and Australia. Let's see. Lori R. Hi, I love you. Can you tell me why anyone trusts Elon over Vivek? Question mark. Elon has always been in the transhumanist, and Vivek is Soros' guy. Well, I just disagree because I honestly believe that if it wasn't for Vivek and Elon, I think Trump wouldn't have had some of the leverage that he had. So I think Vivek, I don't think Vivek is a Soros guy. Vivek did business or got a grant from Soros' son, which when you look at it, he was a kid. And if somebody's going to offer you scholarship money, will you turn it down, especially if you're not into politics? So, and I think that Elon, in my personal opinion, Elon Musk is who he is. He's a nerdy guy that's ultra smart, high IQ, and I think he was into that nerdy stuff until he woke up to conservative values. But I think he still is an innovative person, right? I mean, he's going to develop things that are going to change the world because that's the way his brain functions. I think that we should have reason to trust both of them until we don't have a reason. Another thing is that Donald Trump trusts them, and I trust Trump in his judgment. That's it. HGT Dana, thanks so much for the super chat. Tell the Bonehead in the chat, if people want your signed pick, that's what they want. Great show as always. Let me read this again. Signed pick, that's what they want. I don't get it. For those of you who saw Dana's chat, I think he said, tell the Bonehead in chat if they want your signed picture. That's what want. I don't know, but if you want a signed picture, it's on my store. So go to the store and do it. I guess some people may be upset that it costs money. Well, then don't buy it then. Because it may be worth a lot of money one day. Y'all, it's $50, 47% off. I don't know how much that'll be. Y'all get it for like $20. One day when I'm the president of the United States of America, a signed photo of me at an event is probably going to be worth a lot of money. I'm just saying. So it's an investment on your part if you don't just absolutely love your boy. Let's see. Mental Medalist's wife. Thank you for the $19 super chat. I appreciate it. Shane said, thank you. God bless America. Hey, thank you all for doing the super chats. I really appreciate it. I love the super chats. I wish I could do a whole Q&A with you guys often. In the future, what we're going to start doing is we'll have a section for only the members can ask questions in the chat. Therefore, we cut down on the chat volume, and everybody who is a member of the Tatum squad, I'll be able to just see your chat and try to answer your chat. And maybe even we'll go as far as maybe once a month doing a Q&A with just the people that are part of the membership. I tried that before, and I couldn't keep up with it, so I don't want to promise it yet. But I think that we can make that happen. Now we got a bigger team. We could probably get Brandon Tatum to make it happen.
They said it was a stupid autocorrect.
Oh, it's a stupid autocorrect.
In their super chat.
What is stupid chat? What I said, stupid chat. What does the super chat say now? Did he fix it?
HGT Dana said it's the stupid autocorrect.
Oh, okay. Y'all better fix it. All right. Love you guys. I appreciate it. I'm off for the weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday. We're trying to figure out the best time to do this. We just did it at 2-something and it did well. A lot of people were on. So we're going to try to find out better ways to do it, better times to do it in, and be consistent. But just be patient with your boy. I got a lot of things I'm working on. I'm going to make it right for you, I promise, and I'm going to try to make it good and entertaining. We got a bunch of people we want to interview. We're going to try to start doing interviews. So all of that is afoot, okay? So just stay tuned. For all of y'all who love me, all of y'all who've been here from the beginning, y'all know we're going to keep growing and doing it big. So God bless you. God bless America. I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out here.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.